The movie opens in the late 1800s as a gang of ruthless outlaws rides into a quiet, dusty town called Sweetwater for a bank heist. At the head of the gang is a hardened criminal named Blackjack, a man feared for his cold heart and quick temper. By his side is Kevin, his loyal second-in-command. As they arrive, Blackjack spots Kevin's nephew, Sonny, innocently playing with some children. Seeing Sonny's carefree behavior stirs unease in Blackjack. He begins to question whether the boy has the toughness needed for the outlaw life. Kevin pulls Sonny aside and harshly reminds him to toughen up and act like part of the gang. Wasting no time, Blackjack signals his position gang it's time for action. They storm into the bank, ordering them to cooperate so no one gets hurt. He threatens the terrified bank teller at gunpoint to open the safe. When the teller refuses, Blackjack doesn't hesitate. He shoots off one of the man's fingers to force compliance. While the robbery unfolds inside, Sonny stands guard outside the bank. As he scans the street, he notices Dolly Clone, a local prostitute known for her compassion. Hoping to impress her, Sonny approaches with one of his favorite books about her, nervously asking for an autograph. Dolly humors him with a smile, but the quiet moment is ruined when the town's law suddenly arrives. One of the outlaws rushes inside to warn Blackjack. Another brave citizen attempts to intervene, but Blackjack shoots him without hesitation. Chaos erupts as the town's security swings into action. Gunfire fills the air as the gang scrambles to make their getaway. Amid the shootout, Sonny spots Dolly and notices that she's been caught in the crossfire. He rushes to her side, but she soon dies in his arms. Just then, he sees that one of his fellow gang members, Badger, has been shot and is struggling to move. Sonny quickly climbs onto his horse, helps Badger up, and escapes with the others. Once out of town and deep into the desert, the outlaws stop to catch their breath and properly strap the stolen money. Despite escaping, the gang suffers major losses. Many of the gang members didn't make it out. Blackjack, however, couldn't care less. With a grim expression, he warns the survivors that the road ahead will only grow more dangerous. More blood will be spilled before it's over. They continue pushing forward. When they slow down again, Blackjack realizes a group of vigilantes is hot on their trail. There's no time to rest. Sonny, however, is worried. He sees Badger's condition worsening and pleads with Blackjack for them to rest for a while, but Blackjack doesn't care even though Badger is his brother. Badger, although wounded, insists he's strong enough to ride on. Eventually, as Sonny feared, Badger can no longer keep up. He's already too weak, but Sonny refuses to leave him behind. He stays at his side to help him through the punishing journey. By the following day, Badger's strength is gone, and he slips from his horse, falling hard onto the ground. Realizing he can't go on, Badger gathers the last of his strength to speak. In a raspy voice, he pleads with the others to end his suffering, but no one wants to waste their bullet on him. As the group quietly rides on, leaving him behind, Badger, with pain in his eyes, urges Sonny to break free from this brutal path they've forced him onto. He tells Sonny to dream of a different life, something better, something like the peaceful world found in the pages of his favorite book. Then, in one final act of trust, Badger asks Sonny to end his pain. Shaken and hesitant, Sonny stares at the gun in his hands. He's never killed before. His fingers tremble, but with tears in his eyes, he honors Badger's last wish and shoots him. The sound carries through the hills and catches Kevin's attention. He doubles back and finds Sonny beside Badger's lifeless body. Kevin gives Sonny a nod of approval, calling him a help to the crew, though the praise is laced with cold pragmatism rather than comfort. Sonny is devastated and wishes to go home, but Kevin reminds him it's already too late. As they're about to leave, Sonny is shot in the leg. The vigilantes finally catch up with them, positioned at the top of the nearby ridge. Without wasting time, Sonny hops on his horse and escapes with the gang. The gang takes off through the canyon with the vigilantes close behind, bullets flying in every direction as the chase intensifies. In the chaos, a bullet strikes the horse carrying their stash of stolen money. The animal buckles and falls, sending the bags of cash spilling into the dust. Blackjack stops, staring at the scattered cash. Every instinct tells him to go back, but Kevin, thinking clearly, urges him to leave it. The money is worth dying for. With the vigilantes closing in, Blackjack reluctantly agrees, and they flee empty-handed. Eventually, the vigilantes give up the chase and start gathering the money. However, the gang is left battered and exhausted. Not long after, a violent sandstorm sweeps through the desert, blinding them and burying everything in dust. The men wrap their faces and push forward blindly, unsure of where they're going, just trying to survive. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, they break through the sandstorm. Before them lies an almost unreal sight, a lush green landscape stretched out in every direction. Trees, grass, and birdsong replace the choking sand in desolation. It's like stepping into another world. They press on, venturing through the strange terrain. There, they stumble upon a lone man sitting silently in front of a gate that stands in the middle of nowhere. No fence, just mist swirling around it. Ignoring the strange sight, they continue until a small, isolated town comes into view. As the gang enters the town, the residents stare at them strangely, eyeing them with curiosity and suspicion. The town's sheriff, Forrest, steps forward, introduces himself, and welcomes them to refuge. He casually tells them they look like trouble because of their weapons. Thinking fast, Blackjack spins a story. He claims they're humble herders who were ambushed by Apache warriors and are now in desperate need of help. Sheriff Forrest doesn't ask too many questions. He seems friendly, maybe too friendly. He offers to stable their horses, provide free lodging at the hotel, and even give them drinks. He tells them to stay as long as they need until they're ready to hit the road again. Blackjack Blackjack eagerly accepts the hospitality. Blackjack then asks to see the telegram office, claiming he needs to send word to their cattle boss. Forrest replies that their town is cut off from the outside world, no telegrams, no connections. He then assigns his deputy, Glenn, to show the men to their rooms, while a woman named Rose takes the wounded to the local doctor. Before they part, the sheriff leaves them with one odd rule: no foul language in town, except inside the bar. As Rose leads the injured toward the doctor's place, Sonny walks beside her, trying to make small talk. He asks how long she's lived in the town. She tells him precisely that she's been there 5 years, 1 week, and 2 days, delivered in a tone that hints at something deeper beneath the surface. They soon meet Dr. Woods, the town's quiet and observant physician. Meanwhile, Blackjack and the others head to the bar. While there, Blackjack pulls Kevin aside. He tells him something about Sheriff Forrest bothers him. He's sure they've crossed paths before, but he can't place when or where. Still, he sees an opportunity to rob the town. He believes the townspeople are unarmed and naive, easy prey for a crew like theirs. While the doctor treats his wound, Sonny stares at him. A sudden wave of familiarity hits him. He's sure he's seen this man before. He asks him if he's from his town. Dr. Woods explains that he once lived where Sonny mentioned, but it was long before Sonny was born. After tending to Sonny's gunshot wound, Rose walks with him. She seizes the opportunity to get to know him well. She asks him how many people he has killed and why they carry so little rope if they really are herders. Sonny struggles to answer. His silence says more than words. Rose turns and walks away. Finally, Sonny speaks. Quietly, almost to himself, he admits he's only killed one person, and only because that person asked him to. However, Rose doesn't react. She keeps walking. After treating the visitors, Dr. Woods quietly meets with Sheriff Forrest, Deputy Glenn, shopkeeper Brooks, and a local farmer, Lamb. He presents the bullets he has extracted from the herders. One look at the ammunition, and Forrest knows something is off. These aren't the kind of bullets used by native tribes, they're military grade, the kind carried by outlaws. Suspicion begins to grow. Blackjack's story about being attacked by Apaches doesn't add up. Deputy Glenn wants to run the strangers out of town before trouble starts, but Forrest prefers peace over confrontation. As far as he's concerned, if the gang leaves quietly, there'll be no need for violence. The others reluctantly agree, though Glenn remains triggered and uneasy. Sonny rejoins the rest of the gang at the town bar. Blackjack happens to cross paths with Dr. Woods again and introduces himself under a fake name, Jack Smith. Trying to break the ice, he offers Woods a drink, but the doctor politely declines. As Woods walks away, Blackjack watches him closely, just as Sonny steps out. Something about the doctor's face tugs at his memory, but he can't quite place it. Sonny, who feels the same way, smiles and tells Blackjack that the doctor mentioned he's been in their town before. As the sun sets, the church bells ring across the town. The gang notices that nearly everyone, bartenders, shopkeepers, and farmers, stops what they're doing and heads toward the church. It quickly becomes clear that the town is deeply religious. Kevin chuckles and says it's going to be as easy as taking candy from a baby. Sonny overhears and asks what he means, but Kevin shrugs him off, saying it's none of his business. Later that evening, after the church service, Sonny finds Rose and tries to explain himself. He opens up about the man he shot, how it wasn't murder, but mercy. The man begs Sonny to end his pain, and Sonny did it with a heavy heart. He hopes Rose won't judge him too harshly. Rose asks why he cares what she thinks. Sonny admits that he likes her. She calmly asks his name, stirring a quiet conversation between them. While they talk, Kevin, clearly drunk, stumbles over. He mocks Sonny for talking to a whore. Sonny fires back, saying she isn't a whore. Kevin punches him in the stomach and shoves him aside, then starts drunkenly flirting with Rose. She pulls away, clearly frightened. Sheriff Forrest, who's nearby and watching, steps forward to intervene, but Kevin draws his gun and points it at him. The tension rises. Just as Kevin places his finger on the trigger, Sonny lunges and knocks him out cold. Sonny turns and apologizes to Rose for his uncle's behavior. He asks Forrest if they should lock Kevin up. Forrest replies calmly that they don't have a jail and walks away with Rose, leaving Kevin sprawled on the floor. Blackjack steps out of the bar and questions Sonny. Thinking fast, Sonny lies that he doesn't know what happened and says Kevin probably passed out from drinking too much. Blackjack doesn't press further. The next morning, Forrest sends a message through Sonny. He wants a word with Blackjack. Curious, Sonny asks how long Forrest has been sheriff. Forrest replies, 10 years. When Forrest asks why, Sonny says it's nothing. Before leaving, Forrest tells him he's not like the rest of them and wonders how he ended up in their gang. Sonny explains that he begged his uncle to take him in and didn't know any better. Forrest says he's probably regretting that now, and Sonny agrees. After Forrest leaves, Sonny flips open his book and studies an old portrait. Then it hits him. The sheriff looks just like Wild Bill Hickok, a legendary gunslinger famously shot during a poker game in 1876. Just then, Kevin asks Sonny if he saw who hit him the night before. Sonny says he doesn't know. Later, Blackjack meets with Forrest. The sheriff expresses concern about what happened at the bar and tells Blackjack to keep his men, especially Kevin, in check. Blackjack says one of his people knocked Kevin out the previous night. Forrest explains he doubts it. He didn't see anyone do it, and Kevin was too drunk to stand. Maybe he just fell. Blackjack promises to control his men. Curious, he asks why he and his deputy don't carry guns. Forrest simply says they have their own ways. Meanwhile, Kevin and Sonny head to Brooks's general store on a secret mission to steal ammunition. While Kevin wanders the aisles, Sonny distracts Brooks by striking up a conversation about literature. The older man lights up at the mention of classic novels and pulls out a few rare ones for sale. As Sonny flips through a book, something odd strikes him. Brooks looks like Jesse James, an infamous outlaw killed by his own gang in 1882. When Sonny brings it up, Brooks instantly denies any connection. Their conversation is cut short when Cavan reappears, hiding bullets in his coat and bag. He tells Brooks he didn't find what they were looking for, and they quickly leave. Cavan returns to the rest of the gang and distributes the ammunition among them. Not long after their quiet theft, the gang notices Brooks speaking privately with Forrest. Glenn's tense expression suggests Brooks may have noticed Cavan's theft. Blackjack, tired of playing nice, orders some of his men to abandon all restraint and stir up trouble. Chaos erupts across the peaceful town as Blackjack's boys start racing up and down, roughly knocking over stalls, shoving townsfolk, and throwing knives at the church building. When Forrest tries to reason with Blackjack, he's met with indifference. Forrest suggests the gang split somewhat if they're looking for something to do. Sonny offers to help and asks Forrest where it is, but Blackjack slaps him on the head, shutting him up. If Forrest walks up to the outlaws throwing knives at the church door and suggests they go elsewhere, but they refuse. Forrest stands firm at the entrance, asking them to stop. They ignore him, turning it into a game, and continue throwing knives while he remains in place. They bet on whether the third man would put a knife right through Forrest's windpipe. Meanwhile, dark clouds begin to gather overhead with flashes of soft lightning and thunder. The townspeople start to gather around while Blackjack and his gang watch silently as the tension builds. Just as the third outlaw raises his blade to hurl it at Forrest, a bolt of lightning strikes him dead on the spot. Everyone, including Blackjack, stares in disbelief. Then it starts to rain, and the townspeople calmly disperse like nothing happened. The message is suddenly clear: something beyond understanding protects this place. Later, after the dust settles, the mysterious man they had seen sitting in front of the strange gate arrives. Without a word, he lifts the lifeless body and carries it back through the misty gate outside town. That night, unable to sleep, Sonny sneaks out to the church and peeks through the window. He sees Rose inside, praying with others. He waits for her outside but eventually falls asleep just before dawn. The sound of a carriage wakes him. He looks up to see the townspeople exiting the church as the carriage arrives. To Sonny's shock and confusion, Dolly steps out, alive and well, despite him having seen her die in his arms in Sweetwater. The townspeople welcome Dolly and the others warmly. Before the carriage leaves, the coachman hands Forrest a flower and tells him to get ready to go home soon. Out of curiosity, Sonny runs after the carriage, but it vanishes into thin air. The next day, Sonny confronts Dolly, who is with Rose and Forrest. He asks for an explanation about what he saw the night before, but they tell him to let it go. He wonders how Dolly could be there when he clearly saw her die in Sweetwater. Dolly insists he's mistaken. She says her name is AFI and denies ever knowing him. Sonny's mind races. Something about the town doesn't add up. Determined to get answers, he seeks out Dr. Woods. He calls him out suddenly, acting like he's about to attack him. Startled, Woods instinctively reaches for his coat. Sonny then asks if he too is going to deny that he's Doc Holliday, the famous gambler who supposedly died of tuberculosis in 1887. Woods denies it, saying anyone would react that way if startled. Sonny remains unconvinced. He tells Woods that he suspects the town is hiding famous outlaws long believed to be dead, people who just wanted to retire from their violent lives. He names the real identities of some of the townspeople: Wild Bill Hickok as Forrest, Billy the Kid as Glenn, Jesse James as Brooks, and the farmer as Lefty Slade. Amused, Woods asks Sonny what outlet he thinks Rose is, but Sonny is stumped. He's never read about her. Still wrestling with confusion, Sonny asks why they allowed Blackjack into the town if they had the power to stop him. He accidentally mentions Blackjack's real name, a notorious train robber thought to have died years ago. Woods says he's heard a lot about Blackjack. Panicked, Sonny begs him not to tell anyone. Woods warns him to choose his path carefully if he doesn't want to lose his soul. Later, Sonny goes to the farm to uncover more. He confronts the humble farmer, accusing him of being Lefty Slade, a feared gunslinger. The farmer plays dumb, insisting his name is Lamb. Sonny grabs his wrist and reveals a scar from a gunshot wound. Lamb finally admits the truth. Just then, two of Blackjack's men burst through the farm, trampling Lamb's garden. Enraged, he grabs a weapon and fights back. He kills one of the attackers, but immediately collapses in guilt. Tears stream down his face as he realizes he's broken the peace he had worked to maintain for 8 years. Rose and the others gather around Lamb as he kneels, his voice trembling. They feel sorry for him as he confesses that his 8 years of redemption now feel wasted. In the distance, the gatekeeper appears, waiting silently. Lamb stands and walks with him, still confused by everything. Sonny follows and hides behind a rock. He watches as the gatekeeper takes Lamb through the misty gate and disappears. The gatekeeper soon returns, alone. Sonny is left shaken, wondering what lies beyond. Meanwhile, the town is in chaos. Blackjack's men return to terrorizing the streets, harassing shopkeepers, vandalizing property, and pushing the townsfolk to their limits. Forrest steps in and confronts Blackjack, mentioning his real name, demanding that he leave with his men. Furious that his real name has been exposed, Blackjack tries to hit Forrest with his gun, but misses as Forrest swiftly dodges. Forrest remains calm and unarmed. Glenn, fed up, moves to intervene, but Woods holds him back. When Blackjack's gun slips from his grip, Forrest has a clear chance to pick it up and shoot, but he doesn't. Instead, Blackjack retrieves his weapon and points it at him again. Cavan urges him to shoot, mocking mocking the town is full of cowards. Suddenly, a minor earthquake rattles the town, shaking buildings and halting the standoff. Blackjack hesitates, then changes his mind and retreats with his men. Sonny, returning, sneaks in through a back door and overhears the gang plotting to rob the town and kill anyone who stands in their way. Determined to protect and help the townspeople, Sonny rushes out and finds Rose swimming at the lake outside town. As she gets dressed, he notices a bruise around her neck identical to the scar on Lamb's wrist. It clicks, Rose is dead too. She's Betty McCullough, the first woman ever hanged in the Arizona Territory for killing her abusive father at 19. The world never asked why, only remembered the crime. She explains that the town is a final chance at redemption. 10 years without violence. One mistake and the gate awaits. Sonny tells her about Blackjack's plan and urges her to speak to Forrest and warn the others. Rose reassures him that death isn't their worst fear, but agrees to alert the sheriff. She tells Sonny he's a good man and says she wishes they had met at a different time. Sonny leans in and kisses her gently on the cheek that evening. Rose invites Sonny into the church while Blackjack and Kevin watch from afar, disappointed in him. Inside, Sonny urges the townspeople to defend themselves, but Rose tells him they don't have that option. Forrest reveals that the town is Purgatory, a place for dead sinners seeking redemption. Their past lives don't matter, only what they do here. If they maintain peace and avoid causing or attracting harm for 10 full years, they earn a chance at heaven. But one slip, just one, and the gates of hell open. As it did for Lamb, Sonny is disappointed. He can't believe they're willing to stand by and do nothing. If they won't fight, he will. He storms out, but Blackjack and Kevin ambush him outside. They beat him while the townspeople silently watch, afraid to risk their own salvation. They beat Sonny until he becomes unconscious. They carry him to Dr. Wood's clinic. When Sonny wakes, Rose is at his side. Forrest expresses regret that they couldn't protect him. Sonny understands their dilemma, but tells them he's still going to face Blackjack, even if he has to do it alone, not be why morning. Sonny stands outside the church, wounded but resolute. Rose and others beg him not to go through with it, but he refuses to back down. The church bells ring, summoning the town to worship. As Dolly pulls Rose toward the chapel, Sonny declares his love out loud to Forrest. Moved by his bravery and unwilling to let Sonny stand alone, decides to join him. Dr. Woods reminds Forrest he has only 5 hours left before completing his 10-year redemption. But Forrest doesn't hesitate. He removes his white rose, a symbol of peace, and arms himself. Glenn and Brooks follow, knowing full well they're forfeiting their place in heaven. Sonny now stands before the church, flanked by legendary outlaws Wild Bill Hickok, Jesse James, and Billy the Kid, no longer criminals, but protectors. Blackjack's men begin to set fire to the town. As the flames rise, Sonny and the legendary gunslingers approach the gang. Wild Bill gives Blackjack one final chance to leave, saying he's done enough harm, but Kevin raises his gun to fire. Before he can shoot, Forrest draws and shoots the weapon from his hand. Just then, Dr. Woods appears, armed and ready to join battle. With deadly precision, he takes down Blackjack's men, aiming at Forrest from behind. A fierce gunfight erupts. One by one, the legendary gunslingers take out Blackjack's men, outmatched by their skill and resolve. When the dust settles, only Blackjack and Kevin remain. Rose runs into Sonny's arms, relieved he's still alive. Just then, Kevin appears and shoots Sonny twice in the chest, but Sonny manages to shoot Kevin, killing him. Though fatally wounded, Sonny is shocked to realize he feels no pain, and he doesn't die. Forrest welcomes him to refuge, recognizing that Sonny has earned his second chance. Suddenly, Blackjack appears from behind and challenges Forrest, claiming their fight isn't over. Forrest shoots him, and Blackjack falls to the ground, but he doesn't die either. He laughs and says he's now one of them, but Forrest calmly replies that he doesn't think so, then fires a second shot that finally kills him. Moments later, the silent gatekeeper returns. He carries the bodies of Kevin, Blackjack, and the other outlaws through the Misty Gate, casting them into the fire. Later, Glenn, Forrest, Brooks, and Dr. Woods stand at the gate of hell. They know they've broken the rules. Just as they are about to walk towards the fire, willingly accepting the consequences of their action, the horse-drawn carriage arrives. The coachman steps down with a smile, as if he had been expecting them, rather than condemnation. He brings a message of grace. Their selfless actions had not gone unseen. Despite breaking the rules, they had proven the strength of their character, which has earned them redemption. One by one, the four men climb into the carriage. The coachman tells Sonny to hop on, saying he's done enough and there's nothing more to prove. But Sonny looks at Rose and chooses to remain behind. His place, for now, is with her. Forrest smiles and then removes his sheriff's badge and places it in Sonny's hand. The carriage rolls away, carrying the four legendary souls to heaven. Just then, the gun wounds on Sonny's chest disappear, leaving both he and Rose shot.